Hi everyone, I'm Andy and you're watching Andy in Tokyo. This video is going to come out about a week after my last video was uploaded, which means that I'm finally on my one video a week schedule. As I'm sure you can tell from the video, today we're going to talk about 6 things that I love about the JET program and 6 things that I don't really love about the JET program. So I'll start with the things that aren't so great and then I'll move on to the really good things. Now, I love living in Japan. I love my job. I love JET. However, it's not perfect and everything does have its downsides. So let's talk about the 6 things that I don't really love about the JET program. First, you really don't know where you're going to be placed until about a month before you leave for Japan. Now, there are sort of placement options on your application, but those rarely ever get taken into account unless you pick some place that's super different from what a lot of people would select. So that's really stressful not knowing where you're going to be in Japan exactly. 2, the lack of support for Tokyo jets. Now, this is again Tokyo specific because I'm here. There's not a super big entity that you really feel like you're connected with while you're in Japan. It's sort of just like you're here doing your thing and you gotta do it. 3, the application process is so long. So you start applying in like September, October, your application is due in November. If you get an interview, you get interviewed in either January or February, then you don't find out until the end of March if you pass that stage. And then as I mentioned before, you don't find out your placement until like May or June. So the whole process takes almost a full year and that's like a really long time. 4, ESID. If I had $1 for every time I heard the phrase, every situation is different, or ESID, I would probably not have to work. I could just live in Japan and just make these videos and not even worry about getting paid. Because truly, like with JET, it is true, every situation is completely different. Like my situation is going to be so different from somebody who's in like the countryside of Hokkaido. But still, that phrase bothers me and it sucks that everything's different. The experience of every JET is so different that it's hard to even generalize what the JET experience is like. So that's why ESID exists, and I hate that it exists, but it exists. 5, mental health support. Don't get me wrong, JET has done a great job at improving mental health resources over the years, over their like 20-30 years of being in existence, but it's still not perfect. If you're outside of Tokyo, it's super difficult for you to find a mental health specialist that speaks English that you can go see in person. Now, there is a lifeline service called TEL, which you can call, and they have counselors online, and it's free, and it's great, but it's not the same as getting that one-on-one experience with a therapist if that's something that you need. Not to mention, mental health counseling in Japan isn't covered by the national health insurance, so you still have to pay out of pocket, maybe like $100 worth for just one session. And 6, lack of proper training. I'm lucky that I was taught to be a teacher in the US, albeit it was for math, not for teaching English as a foreign language, but still there was some sort of teacher training happening. Now, I would say that about a quarter of all JETs probably have some sort of educational training or experience, but there's still 3/4 of JETs that really don't have any sort of teaching experience before entering in the classroom. I do think that it's a really good thing for people who are maybe interested in teaching to do this sort of program as an assistant and then maybe make their way up to a lead English teacher at another school or go back to America and be a lead teacher. However, a lot of my friends that don't have any teaching experience said that they wish they had more training and more experience. JET does offer some teaching training at orientation, but this teacher training is only really like an hour or 2 long, and it's not significant enough to make a huge difference in people's confidence if they don't have any training. Now, that's the bad stuff out of the way. So now we're going to talk about the 6 things that I love about JET. There's much more, but these are the top 6 things that I love about my JET experience. 1, I get to teach. Now, teaching is something that I've wanted to do my entire life. Albeit, I did want to teach math in high school and college, that's what I was training to be, but this is still giving me the opportunity to teach English in a classroom with real students. 2, I'm in Japan. It's incredible. I've always wanted to come to Japan. I've always wanted to experience Japanese culture, and this program allows me to experience Japanese culture while I live here for an extended period of time. 3, it's a reputable program. JET has been around since the early 90s, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll probably write a correction right here. From my understanding, JET has pretty much set the bar for the teaching English abroad programs that you see all over the world, whether it be in Asia, the Middle East, Europe, whatever. Jet is one of the first people that did this, and they did it well. 4, the pay is so good for an ALT position. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like you're gonna be rich by getting off the Jet program. You're not gonna be able to save like $1 million. However, if you're not placed in a huge city, you're going to be putting away a lot of money each month into a savings account, whether it be in Japan or in the United States. From my understanding, salarymen pretty much get paid less than Jets do. Your first year, you're getting paid 3.36 million yen, which converts to this much US dollars per year, and you get raises throughout your years. For your second year, you get 3.6 million yen. For your third year, you get 3.9 million yen. And for your fourth and fifth years, you get 3.96 million yen. Every month, I get around $2,300, I would say, per month, which in Tokyo is more than enough. I do have to budget and stuff, don't get me wrong, but it's more than enough for me to be able to travel, eat out sometimes, have fun, and still like live my life, you know what I mean? Other ALT positions that are similar in Japan or other countries will not be paying you as much as this. So Jet's pay is the best out of all of them. 5, it's a great job for recent graduates. A lot of people that are on Jet are recent graduates. A lot of them are trying to take a little bit of a break in between a career change. So in either of those cases, or if you just want to come to Japan, Jet is a really, really great opportunity for you. It's great because there's a lot of professional development opportunities through AJET, which is the overarching organization that runs Jet. There's JETA, which is the Alumni Association, and they do have a few networking events in Japan every year. And 6, it's temporary. So I've been really lucky in my placement, and I love it so much that I want to stay here for 2, 3, maybe more years. But some people really hate their placement, like they hate it so much. But the thing is, even if you hate it, you're only gonna be there for 1 year. I mean, some people need to leave early, and that's totally okay if they need to do that. Even if you hate your job, the maximum time that you have to stay there is just 1 year. It's temporary. So those are the 6 things that I don't really love about Jet and the 6 things that I do really love about Jet. I hope you found this video interesting, informative, whatever. If you're a current Jet or an aspiring Jet, please leave me a comment below about which thing you agreed with the most or which thing you agreed with the least. And please tell me why. I'd love to start a conversation with you. And as always, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to it. And if you do subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so that you know when I make a video each and every time. And also, if you don't want to subscribe or like it, you don't have to. It's free internet. You can do what you want. I can't wait to see y'all next week or maybe the week after, and we'll see what I have for you then. Peace out. Whoosh.